Take your front side, you're going to go feet together. Fantastic. Take your right arm, place it out in front of you like that. Make a face with your thumb, stare directly at your thumb. It's just an imagination exercise to see if you can use your powers of intelligence, imagination and concentration effectively, as I'm sure you will. Now, if you stare at your thumb, what's going to happen is on the count of 3, when I say now, that moment, that instant, that second, I'd like you to physically move your hand and your arm in a clockwise direction, following your thumb with your eyes and your head in a clockwise direction, rotating at the waist, keeping your feet together. But stop the moment it becomes painful. This is not about showing how hard you are. We don't want you to hurt yourself. Stop when it becomes painful. Okay, or the least bit uncomfortable. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Move your thumb, follow with your eyes and your head, rotating at the waist, keeping your feet together. I reckon you can go a bit further than that. So if you just go to the point where you really feel it's probably a good idea to stop. Remember what you can see in the background. Then follow your thumb back with your eyes. Now just close your eyes down. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And then out through your mouth. And just imagine doing that again in your mind's eye. This is purely imaginary. So you're not going to actually physically move, but just imagine moving your thumb in the clockwise direction with your arm. Imagine following it with your head and your eyes, rotating at the waist, keeping your feet together. And you see the people sat to your right, and then you see the window and the plants and the flip chart stand, and perhaps you get to where the weirdly fancy concertina frames on the wall. But because this is your imagination, you can make that which once in the past would have been purely imaginary become very real for you. You can make that a new reality now. So in your mind's eye, imagine going further than was possible before. So you see your thumb and your arm moving further, and in your mind's eye you're following it with your eyes, and you go further than you did before, and something you once thought could have been difficult proves itself to be so ridiculously easy. In fact, it kind of amazes you and makes you laugh inside how easy it is to achieve that right now. And nod your head when you imagine that in your mind's eye. Fantastic. Now just open your eyes, look at your thumb. Keeping your feet together, rotating at the waist. We're going to do the same thing and see your new reality. So 1, 2, 3. Move your thumb, follow with your eyes, and just notice how far you can go. It doesn't bother you when you're concerned. Going further and further and further and further and further. Kicked up nicely, and that's definitely further, isn't it? As we bring you back, that is your new reality. Look at your hands, close your eyes, and just sleep in that position. Keep your eyes tightly closed. Doesn't bother you, worry or concern. Drifting down, sinking down. Just drop your arm and just sink deeper and deeper. The deeper you go, the better you feel. 1, 2, 3, by the way, I just did that for the sake of it. Give me a round of applause. Thank you very much, Dixon. That is what I call the eyes follow the thumb test. The clues in what we did. Now, why does it work? I'm not 1,000,000% certain. It's the honest answer. The logic I've come down to is this. The first time, and you'll see it on the DVDs, you get them to put the feet together. Hands by the side, then you instruct them, condition them along the way. Now to put this arm up, make the face, look at the thumb. To keep the feet together, rotate at the waist, look at the thumb, and follow it with their head and eyes. Key phrase, head and eyes. And stop the moment it becomes the least bit painful or uncomfortable. Negative idea, you don't want to hurt yourself. So here's my thinking. The first time, notice I'm following with my head and eyes. Now, I'm telling you now, my neck won't go any further. I've said head and eyes. But my arm would, but not my head and eyes, so I stop. I bring it back. Close the eyes, go through this visualisation rubbish that can become to believe that the words made the reality. And the second time, I say, now see your new reality. And 1, 2, 3, and move your thumb and follow it with your eyes. Well, guess what? I can't go any further than that with my neck, but I can move my eyes in my head to see my thumb. Hence, it appears that they've gone much further. That slight change of the wording. Plus, the first time you're also warming up the muscles, stretching them. So the second time, you logically can go further. And those two elements, that never bloody fails. Unless someone's got a physical disability, they will move further. And in therapy, I can use that at the start of the session and go, wow, look how much further you've just gone. It seemed impossible. You know what that tells me? That tells me the work we're about to do here today together is definitely going to be successful for you. You are going to leave here a non-smoker. And you can use that as a well, yeah, that makes sense. If I've managed that in like 2 minutes, what's going to happen in the next 50 minutes of the session? False logic. On stage, it can be, well, that's work, this means the next thing work. So there, I purposely then brought the arm back down, so they're just expecting perhaps we're going to do it against something, but then, pattern interrupts, just go and move the hand into the face and say, just close your eyes. And so we can flow into an induction. Is this making sense? Yeah. If it isn't, please put your hands up and ask a question. Anyone can ask questions at any time. It's not a sign of ignorance, it's a sign of me not explaining it correctly. Cool. So that is the end of the things I would ever use as suggestibility tests, should I say. So, inductions. Although you have already learned various inductions, I'm hoping you realise it by now, because you can just take the light in heavy hands and go switch it down across the body, sleep. You can, once they find their eyes are closed with the little hole in the head, go rotate the head down, sleep. You can, trying to remember what the suggestibility tests were. You can take, you know, someone with the hands locked and say, when I tap you on the hands, they'll separate. And that moment you go and separate, just pull the hands forward and go and sleep. So all it takes, that moment of confusion, disorientation, NLP for some reason called pattern interrupt. It's just that moment of shock, confusion, what the hell's going on, where the person basically, it's so much easier just to do what you say. Makes sense, yeah? Cool. Right, other induction methods then. We covered the falling backwards induction earlier in the day. Shit, may stop and cross that off the list. Okay. And again, you know, with that, there were physical things that were guaranteed to feel. So, as there is, as you'll notice with all of these that come up, there's some sort of physical thing that will feel. Right. Which to do next? We're already on a few of these without, but thinking of your mind more, holding baby violence some more. Self-doubt. That's you next. We're going to pick it up. Take a seat. Yeah, give me a round of peer group pressure. Actually, I do say that in shows around the great peer group pressure, because when the audience is applaud, it makes them feel good, but ultimately it's like one of those, I've got to do it now type. That's also what's working on your favourite hypnotist. So we're going to assume that you've got volunteers on stage, okay, or it's one-to-one, and the person's already, you've already done this. Whichever you've chosen to do, you've done a suggestibility test to convince them. So they're like, well, my thumbs go further on. Well, good shout. Or the hands are been in that position and they couldn't separate. Something's occurred to them that makes them believe, well, he said things or she said things and they happened. That's the moment when we say to move on to an induction. Now, I know that earlier on I said you can go straight into an induction. Yes, you can. When you've got the balls of steel to act as though you expect it to work. And that really is the biggest key to all this. When you act as though you expect it to work, people assume that you're acting that way because it's worked numerous times before. Now, when you've done it a few times, it will have worked numerous times before, but there's always got to be the first time. Which is where the strange paradox of all this comes in. While he's having
just say, always a good sign of hypnotic subject. Before they think they're going to wonder, they have to go to the toilet first.
It actually is, because it's suggesting that they don't piss themselves.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's already someone making up the wrong man. You will find this if you're doing a stage show. You go, can I go for me first or whatever? Great, by all means do. Because then it's out of your mind the idea of pissing yourself. Which means that the fact that it was a worry in the first place is them saying to themselves that they expect to be, going back to what we went earlier, and they believe it will work for them. So it's about manipulating every single thing that happens, you know, into your favour. Right, well he's gone to toilet, as it were. Let's go around a second. Give a round of applause. Everyone should have everybody has been or will I think pretty much everybody has been already. Sometimes the less you say, the more effect it can have, because the less you say leaves their mind to think, what the hell's going on? So they have to try and fill in the blanks. And while the mind's focused on trying to fill in the blanks that are non-existent and not particularly that relevant anyway, that means you've got that state of confusion automatically, so that when you say sleep, you can have the desired effect. An example would be, let's use just say, I don't know, 8 words. I'll get you back. Let's use just say 8 words. In fact, can you just stand up a second now? You're going to see sort of sideways. I'm looking at the camera. Sit down, that's fantastic. Brilliant. Push down here. Real hard. And sleep. Sleep, 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 deeper, deeper. See the shock, the fear. That's what we're working on. Deeper, 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 deeper. Drifting down, sinking down. 1 to 3, wide awake. That's weird, isn't it? Scary, good. Because what we're playing on, which we have with a lot of inductions, certainly with rapids, is to fight, spell that wrong, fight, flight, or freeze response. Now, most people just say fight or flight. Understand what that is. But there is actually the freeze response, which is arguably hypnosis. Fight is, in dinosaur days, fight a dinosaur, kill it to take on food. Flight is, oh my god, I'm going to get attacked by a dinosaur, run like that. Freeze is that moment where your brain goes, can I win this dinosaur and take it on as tea, or should I run? And it's that moment where you get frozen, which arguably is a trance, if you believe in them. It's the shock moment, it's the freeze, and that's what we listen. You could see the physical change, couldn't you? Right? And you definitely felt it, yeah. But then when I give you the option from that moment of being scared, if I say the word like sleep, which means something safe, calm, relaxing, so that's that easy, just to let the fear go in it, because nobody wants to be in a position of pain or fear. So that's what we're playing with. We're moving them into freeze or flight, but mixture of the two, generally freeze, and then giving them the excuse, I should say we're moving them into sort of fight, confusion, but then into freeze, and then we give them the perfect excuse to be able to leave it behind. In other words, just relax, it's gone. As in sleep. It's got that conditioned response that we set up right at the beginning of the pre-talk and context. Does this make sense? Does it make sense? Yeah. And it is just 8 words. I mean, different people use different words, but I'm not asking them to take control, take it down and say, push down there, forwards, real hard. And I'm pushing upwards, so that really, I know if I pull my hand away, the body's going to move forward. So, push down there, real hard, and slip, deeper, right around, talco, drifting down, sinking down. 1, 2, 3, right, make your eyes down. It's just not easy to let yourself go in it. Yeah. Even when you know what's going on. So, people who don't know what's going on, you can imagine that amplifies the effect. When people don't know what's going on. Now that is what's known as the Gerald Klein 8-word induction. But I got thinking, 8 words, why? Basically we want them to physically push down so that unexpectedly the hand pulls out and the body slumps forward and we're putting on pressure in the hand at the same time as you say sleep. So I figured, well, push down. Real hard. Sleep. Deeper. 5-word induction. Now, 1, 2, 3, wide awake. And it is going to push down. Essentially, it's that physical movement in the arm body. The word sleep, though, is very, very important because of the conditioned response we set up much earlier on. So it could be push down. And just by non-verbally pushing upwards, they're going to push down more. Can you say push down? Push down. Sleep! Deeper. 3-word induction. Now, or it could be, well, it still feels weird every time, but it could be non-verbally, if you've got the balls to do it, it could literally be one word. If you choose to. You want to read out, because non-verbally I've gone and I've pushed downwards, going push. By pushing upwards, they push down, because we get the idea. As long as that's happening, when you at that moment decide to stay asleep, you pull your hand away, the body's going to go forward and you tap on the back reassurance like blah, blah, blah. Sleep just so long as you keep your eyes tightly closed at all times and you go into the stuff we talked about earlier. Does that all make sense? Yeah. It's a bit freaky, isn't it?
Yes, you've just got no choice whatsoever. You just...
It's a bit... Yeah. Take a seat, give her a round of applause. Everyone... I'll do it the 8-word way. I'm just showing you how you can go 5 words, 4 words, 1 word. But hopefully it's starting to fall into place, everything I've said during the day. Each time I demonstrate something different, hopefully you're starting to see, well, of course that makes sense, because what we said earlier. That's sort of how this is hopefully going. So, it's up to you. Well, actually, I'll come to you each in turn, just so you can feel how somewhat slightly strange it is. But bear in mind that people you're going to do this on don't know you're going to do it, and it's that element of shock and confusion and disorientation, unexpectedness, and not knowing that allows them to be in a state of mind of, well, this weirdness must be hypnosis. And when they believe that, which you've already dragged down the garden path with everything that's gone before, then they can choose to accept that as being the magic power that apparently you've got, which is the perception we want them to have, so that they'll then think it's easy to do what they say. So the sort of feeling, 8-word wise, it'd be push down hard, real hard, and sleep, deep. And it's a bit of a shock. I mean, less of a shock when you know I'm about to do it, obviously, but you can get the idea. Push down, real hard, and sleep. Quick. It's a bit of a...
You don't know when it's coming.
Even though you know I'm going to do it, you don't know when I'm going to do it. So imagine when they don't think you're going to be doing that anyway, because they've no bloody idea, you know what it feels like. So, push down, real hard, and sleep, deeper. By the way, it's a bit of a shock to the system, yeah. And that's when you know what's going to happen. Push down, real hard, sleep, deeper. It is a bit of a... And especially if you didn't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You've already know you push down, real hard, sleep. And it's a shock to the system. It's confusion, it's disorientation, it's everything we spoke about all happening, something unexpected, and then coming to get a weird feeling where they can think, just in the same way as going, wow, I went further. They said words, I went further, it must be real. Or, wow, my hands were locked, or, wow, I couldn't open my eyes. In the same way it's, what the fuck, that felt weird. That must be hypnosis then, because they don't know what it feels like, so therefore it must be. That's the false logic. Make sense? Cool. So that's the 8-word.
In a stage, for people of our level, would you suggest that is something you would do as a second or third certificate thing, or something that's a bit harder to get them in to do it as a first one? Because I would feel very unconfident at that technique, personally.
Until you've done some shows, you're going to feel unconfident. Yeah. The point is that it is literally about, if you've done a suggestibility test, given some kind of convincing, you should be able to use pretty much anything. You should just be able to say sleeping off the go if there's complaining off. All these little physical tricks or weird shocks are just to enhance the... So you may feel it's better to make them fall backwards or the eyes close, fine, till you get your confidence, but there will be a time you decide to give it a cheeky go. It doesn't matter if it didn't work, it was their fault, they've not used the powers of intelligence. Right. Or you can just react like that's what you expected. Well, if you go and sleep and they look at you and go, what? You go, fantastic. That tells me exactly what I needed to know. That means this technique is the one we need to use to hypnotise you. And they'll assume that because you're the authority figure, you're telling the truth, whereas in realism, you're just fucking shy. So that it doesn't look like it didn't work at that moment. It's about reacting as well. Whatever happens was meant to happen, if that makes sense, yeah? Cool. Right. I'm not necessarily going to do these in the order that they are wrote down. In fact, I don't even think this is wrote down. Okay. Once you've hypnotised one person, or appeared to, because we said it doesn't exist, when everyone else has witnessed that, especially the volunteers on stage, they immediately become more suggestible, because that's further evidence to them that it's going to work for them. So as you go on, it's a knock-on effect, it becomes easier. After we've seen a few people react, it then becomes possible to do things that you wouldn't dare or dream of doing otherwise, because you've built up this sort of belief system. Can I, only for health and safety, because my back's knackered, really, can hear you during, of course, I'm sure you'll get the vibe on what we're going to do here in a moment. We'll do this on a couple of people so you can feel it. Let's borrow Royle in there. It's always good to experiment. Just walk this way. Fantastic. Stay out there. That's brilliant. Whoa, yeah. That's weird, isn't it?
I don't know what to expect.
No, exactly, you're not meant to. Like I say, we'll explain why. I didn't even bother shouting sleep, and if I'd have shouted sleep, that would have turned into an induction. It's not necessarily correct, it just gives you the idea of what we're doing. I didn't even want to shout in sleep, because shout in sleep. Bear in mind, we're doing this health and safety wise. I've got Grant catching. When I do this on stage, I don't bother. I lower them down to the floor and let them go. So you've got that whole falling backwards, what effect's happening at the moment of shouting sleep. So that even more amplifies the confusion and disorientation.
I just got confused. I didn't even know what you were doing.
Brilliant! Which is a total demonstration of what it's possible.
Just trying to sound it.
Resistance. At that point, I'd move on to somebody else. You resisted. Fine, they either resist or they don't. It doesn't matter. Next. Yeah, strange, yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
You did breathe in and out, by the way.
Yeah,
as
you come closer, my eyes were starting to affect vision.
Yeah.
And I wasn't.
You got that under it. If you were breathing in and out, it would have been another level above. But remember, this is a false environment. Our metal people are going to do something wrong.
You're going to get that. You will get that.
Slick, deeper, drifting down, sinking down. Shit on that. Well, right, yeah, pretty much. Well, maybe then, come on.
Yeah, that's what
you know what it feels like. Yeah, cool. Right. Perceptively, once you put 1 or 2 people out and staring, other people who are on the stage have seen that occur. They know we're really heightened. Wow, my hands locked, my thumb moved, whatever you did is a suggestibility test. And they've seen someone else go out, that heightens the belief in expectancy. Everything we talked about is now heightened. Okay? And that is the moment where you can get away with doing something like a non-verbal induction.